Hello, everyone. Apologies for the late start, and welcome to the final round of the Thursday Championship. We have one championship still to decide between Phil Malta and I believe with Pimlott as well in the AM class. So, other than that, it's going to be a fairly quiet stream. So a little bit different tonight. We're going 4 wide in the box, so all the shouting from Christian you'll hear this week. So.
I don't know about that. I like the blanket of not having my mics live. I maybe will be a bit more restrained than now that people can hear me.
Well, that's just cheating at that point, surely.
Christian, you do not know the meaning of restraint. So I'm Austin Devonshire. Joining me in the box, we have Christian Stricker, Phil Roberts, and of course none other than our very own Jesse Lee. So it'll be a bit of a night owl kind of vibe I'm sensing, guys.
Well, I just want to point out that there's 12 cars on track. There's 4 people on the box. There's about a third of the grid. We can make up a third of the grid.
I agree, Phil. We should jump out on track right
we
now.
Should. It's not like we didn't go live already or we presented live.
What are you talking about, Austin? That never happened. That's insane. You are losing your marbles.
No, what we do at RCI is that we do dress rehearsal stuff.
Yes,
exactly.
Oh, so it wasn't screwing up; it was just being prepared. Is that what we're calling it?
Prepared,
I think it's called behind the scenes.
Yeah. What if we were just testing you, Austin, to see if you could do it twice in a row? What if that was what that was? Make sure that you were ready. What if that's all that was? And also, I was definitely here the first time we tried to do an intro.
Oh yeah.
Definitely was here.
Yeah, you didn't just bail during the intro at all. Like completely.
What do you mean the intro? Can we call it what it was? The practice intro.
Yes, thank you. I was definitely here the whole time, and if I wasn't, I definitely gave you more than ample time to set it up without me. By the way, qualifying is going on. 13 and a half minutes to go here. We decided to have a little bit more fun with this. This is the series finale of the Thursday Championship, the multi-class championship with GT4s and Porsche Cup cars. The abbreviated grid has meant that here in the booth, we've thrown the kitchen sink at it. Christian Stricker on the broadcast for the first time since I don't know when. It's been a long time. Everybody knows you as the broadcaster who makes many different noises that they can't hear. And I'm annoyed at you immediately because you said that, I'm probably going to be a bit more restrained. That's not what we want. That's not what they want.
You want to hear send-ins, no?
Yeah, you can't just you can't put us through weeks of shouting. Do you know what, guys? There's a bit of a story actually here. The first race I ever commentated with Christian Broadcasting, it was with me and Tim Peck, and we're sat there commentating on the action, bringing you guys the best job that we can, and all me and Tim hear in our ears is, "Oh my God, guys! There's a woman walking a turtle."
There was a woman walking. It was a tortoise, by the way.
A tortoise.
It was quite a big tortoise, and she had a balloon on it, and it was attached. Well, a turtle is the one that swims, isn't it? A tortoise can't swim.
Turtles are
water-based. Yeah, I should.
Water-based.
I studied veterinary. I should actually know this.
Yeah. Anyways, there was a woman walking a tortoise, and I just thought I should share that with you because it's a moment I wanted to share with you, and I don't think I could have just let it go just like that.
No, it's an important moment, and it's become stamped in kind of like a little bit of history for me actually when it comes to actually broadcasting. But that's the thing; it's good vibes in the box, and that's the kind of thing that you want.
I'm more like concerned about how fast that turtle and that woman was, how slowly that woman was walking. To be honest, is it like
at what point are you walking slow enough that your actual pace is counterintuitive to what you're actually doing? Is the turtle, first of all, why do you walk a turtle? That seems slightly cruel, a bit as well.
I don't know.
And also, how long must that walk have been? You could have been down to the corner shop and it would take you all day to do, surely, with a turtle. Or a tortoise. By the way, I thought all animals could swim. I didn't realize that swimming was a distinction to be made in
it's something about like where they spend most of their time.
Oh.
So
along those lines.
Don't you remember Finding Nemo? The turtle in there.
There was the turtles, yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
The way I remember is tortoise got stompy legs and turtles have flippers.
Yep, that's entirely it. And there's obviously different subspecies of each one as well. Like you've got kind of like hognose and like soft-shelled spiny turtles, which are my favorite types of turtle. The more you know here at RCI.
We
I'm
are
enjoying
learning
the fact
every
that
day.
we got the camera on Jordan Daly and we talk about turtles. I don't know what that says.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Jordan, if you watch this back, that was Phil Roberts who pointed that out. By the way, if you guys haven't noticed yet, first of all, welcome in to RCI TV. If you're brand new, this is completely irregular and unusual. Tonight we're going podcast style, 4 wide here in the box. There's also the Thursday championship in the background. We always talked about wanting to do the podcast, and maybe this is pilot episode number 1 with a GT4 and Porsche Cup finale in the background. Christoph Streppen, quickest thus far, a 43.147, 8/10 quicker than Jordan Daly. And then you've got the AM crowd, Phil Malter, Pimlott, and Redford, all there in the mix. Actually, Phil Malter and Pimlott quite close. Then back to Redford, the Razors in there. Vanderwood, Malcolm, Boardman, Huel, Stant, and Yo are our drivers this evening. We're not anticipating any more, so this is the exact reason why we're going podcast style. Normally, if a race has under a certain amount of drivers, we consider not actually broadcasting it, but again, this being the series finale, and on top of that, there's 4 of us here anyway, and we're paid for the day. Might as well go for it. Favorite turtle of all time, probably the one in Finding Nemo, now that I thought about it, of all the turtles. And if it's not that turtle, it's the Professor Turtle in the very last episode of Futurama. That's also a good turtle.
I can't remember that episode.
It was the
I'm trying to
very
remember more
last
famous
episode after the
turtles.
3rd reboot.
Or tortoise.
Well, there's also the tortoise and the hare, but
Oh, that's a
that
classic.
tortoise was a little too smug for my taste.
There's a turtle in Dragon Ball.
You're missing Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo, Leonardo. You're missing.
Oh, yeah, but
Oh,
Ninja Turtles,
no.
right, isn't it?
Yeah, Ninja Turtles, yeah. But they're not, they're Ninja Tortoise, not Ninja Turtles, because they don't have flippers.
That's a good point. Ninja
We need to-
Green Turtle humans.
Yeah. Oh, they are turtle humans, so maybe they got rid of their flippers and have
Yeah.
like indeed.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Legs
We
and
gotta
feet.
complain. They're not turtles, they're tortoises.
Who said that? Oh right. Sorry, that's us complaining about it. Yeah, sorry. I thought you meant in chat. I thought you were complaining in chat.
Welcome, Phil.
Welcome,
By the way,
I'm awake,
Kevin
don't worry.
Boss in chat is very confused about a statement I made. You guys getting paid? I think he's trying to do the meme, right?
That was a
We're
bit-
getting
that
paid
was-
with each other's company, and we're
That's
paying
it.
each other no mind, is what's happening here.
No, we're getting paid with great racing. This has been a great season so far.
It has been a brilliant season.
As sort of like disappointing the turnout for tonight, I mean, the season's been amazing. Like, we can't fault that. So,
Oh yeah, there's so many good moments. Like I say this, I feel like every season, there's one championship that no matter what, I always watch, even if I'm not directly involved. And partially this season I wasn't. I still watch Thursday Champ because it's so intriguing to me. The dynamic of GT4 and Porsche Cups, and the Porsche Cup cars are not only fighting themselves, but they're fighting for the GT4s, and you've got 2 different classes of GT4 and how they've raced each other all season. There's been a lot of drama as well. You know, I'm not going to shy away from talking about that. There's been a lot of spins. There's been a lot of mistakes made by a lot of the drivers that have cost some of the other ones. A little bit of animosity as well because of all of that, but some excellent racing. Nürburgring comes to mind, the back and forth there, the high drama there at the end. Incredible stuff. And it was like that the entire season. And that is, of course, it's always like that on Thursday, by the way. That's why I always watch the Thursday channel.
no, that's just it. I mean, it's only a matter of time until someone says it was a bad race director's decision, and that's what called the championship there and then. No,
We don't do that here.
no, we're a bit more screwed together, but. I mean, can I just say, like, looking at, bear in mind, there is actually still qualifying going on. Can I just say, like, the battle between Phil Malta and Pimlott is gonna be close. That's only
It's gonna be a good one, yeah.
between the two. So that's a big slide from January.
Might have Jesse Mass come in at some point during
Oh, you know,
the
I
race.
mean, there's a lot of times where I'll do math and I just won't say anything because I am so used to people being like, "Oh, well, Jesse's math was incorrect," and I'm like, "Yeah, because that exact thing I said that if it happened, it would happen didn't happen." Of course, it's always incorrect when it doesn't go that way, but I always try to set up a move in case it does happen. And a lot of times, obviously, something goes wrong and it doesn't. The interesting thing that I see here is Boardman in the nicest Porsche out there, the 69 Porsche, leading the way at 36.6. We always expected the Porsche Cup cars, obviously, to come through there quicker than GT4s, but then it's 1.2 seconds back to Huel. That is a humongous gap, and we ride on board the Flying Hellfish Taters Porsche Cup car.
I was really disappointed, Jesse, that you didn't do. I thought you were going to do a pun with Huel's name.
I would never make fun of somebody or
A
somebody's.
huge gap, yes.
Oh, I
It's
would
a-
actually. I
it's a
take it
stretch.
back. I would do that. I would not do that to Raphael. Lovely,
Yeah.
lovely fellow. But a little bit of a gap between all three of the Porsche Cup cars that have made it to the final stage of this particular championship. I wouldn't have called that. These cars obviously should be pretty much equal, but right now on this racetrack, proving very much the opposite.
Speaking of gaps as well, we didn't really mention it during the first 10 minutes of qualifying, but Verstappen is about 7/10 ahead of Jordan Daly as well, which just sort of seals himself as the GT4 king at RCI. I think every single time we've had a GT4 championship, he's either been top one, he's either won it or been second. I think he yet again shows the insane pace he has in that Chevy.
Yeah,
Man,
I know.
is it a
I know
cheat
Verstappen
code?
as the Chevrolet guy in the GT4. He's raced other things in GT4, but anytime he gets into that Chevy, magic happens, and this season's been absolutely no different. Phil, you were saying?
I was just going to say there's a cheat code in these GT4s, to be honest. I mean, he's driven Alpines, he's driven Chevrolets to at least a championship, or at least a top three championship, I'd say. I think the only thing I haven't seen him in really is a Porsche. I'm maybe lying. I haven't seen him in the Porsche GT4 Cayman just yet. But yeah, a very, very accomplished driver in RCI, particularly in the little GT4s that we run on Thursday nights.
That's it. I remember presenting, I believe it was with Ryan Gill of all people, the British GT Championship, and that came down to a last race
Speaking
fight
of
between. That came down to a last race fight between Verstappen and Boardman as well. Like both, I believe, in Aston Martins, if I remember correctly. So that was something. Like Verstappen's just incredibly quick.
Yanyo
is.
has just taken the provisional pole position though.
That's
we were
more
just
like
sort of just
Yeah,
putting that out there.
Yeah, no, I see why you interrupted. That's 3/10 quicker than Boardman. So that's fairly significant, all things considered. Only 2 minutes left remaining of the session, and obviously this is the last lot of cars to go out, and there's only 3 cars on track. Janio going a little bit sideways there, so yeah, I mean, Raphael Kuhl, a bit of a huge gap between themselves and Boardman too. So
Yeah, there seems to be a bit of pace, certainly from Huel at least. He's about 7/10 up on his time. It's invalidated at the minute, so it won't count. But there's certainly pace for that Huel can find. He's only 1.5. I mean, only, but he's 1.5 back. But if he can find 7, 8 tenths, that should see at least something kind of useful towards him. Boardman's about 3/10 back from Yo at the minute, so Yo is currently about, well, he just messed up the final sector. I was about to say it's about a 10th up on his time, and he's invalidated, so never mind. But 1 minute 36 to get round. Yo is about to start his final lap of the qualifying. Should still have one more lap, excluding this one that Huel and Boardman are on. They should definitely have enough time to get round and do another lap in addition to the one they're on at the minute.
That's it. I do feel like Misano is one of those tracks you either get or you don't. There's kind of no middle ground. There's some weird lines that some lines that you think would invalidate a lap but don't, and some that do invalidate a lap but you wouldn't think do. And finding the right line through that is difficult. So you have to use a lot of the curbing here as well. You can see just from Rafael Kuhl there in the background, just coming off that exit curb, every single corner. Just kind of cutting it as fine as you can. And I feel like a lot of drivers either do or don't get that kind of style, especially in this car with it being so unsettled. We've said it 1,000 times without the traction control. So, yeah, I'm just wondering if that's the reason why some drivers you usually see somewhere near the top are just struggling around Misano at the moment.
Oh, pardon me. There's Andy Bourman there, just gone a bit faster. He's about, I don't know, how fast is he? 1.10 behind at the minute. Fuel comes around.
Oh,
that's
Right in that
close.
gap.
We might actually have a fight on our hands.
And I think
That-
my calculator's ruined there because I thought Fuel had enough time to do another lap.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we might actually have a race.
Well, hold on a minute. Andy Boardman's coming through the final couple of corners here.
No, he's still in sector 1,
Ooh.
Jesse.
Never mind, that's the 48 of Yo coming around the final. I got absolutely thrown for a loop. Yan Yo, who was not on a lap, is coming into the pit lane. Boardman does have this last catch. This is what I was highlighting earlier, how it was so strange that the three of them were separated by, well, in some cases, a second or so, because it was very strange to see similar paced cars do that, but this is absolutely more what the doctor ordered. Boardman, though, is going to get one more shot in the Greased Weasel racing car. What a team name Greased Weasel Racing is.
I love it.
I don't know how fast a Greased Weasel is, but it's got to be hard to catch, and maybe that's the point of the 69. I'm going to say it again, by the way. Andy Boardman coming through the final couple of corners here at Misano is going to set the last lap of qualifying. What's it going to be, guys?
He's about 3 temps up on this time at the minute.
He might get
Jesse.
to
He's about
35s.
nearly half a second
the-
up towards the middle of it. He's
that
just
was-
had a bad exit. I think this is enough for pole position now.
Oh, that is
Oh, there
just
we are.
enough. There you go.
Only by about a tenth of a second. So, oh wow, that's actually really close up the front. Only 3/10 separating the top three cars. So again, throwing traffic, throwing strategy. We've seen it before. 3/10 of a second really isn't a lot of time here.
No,
And,
especially with the long straights, you can absolutely make that time back. Porsche Cup car is interesting. I was watching Jan's car on a couple of laps. It was very interesting how it was sort of darty a little bit through some of the corners. But of course, we mustn't forget that we are ending a championship here today. Austin, take us through the championship points.
So in first place for the GT4 Silver class, we've got Christoph Verstappen, followed by Jordan Daly. In third place, John Araser with 109 points, followed by Spoda Skrillex with 97. And everybody else you see on this list has in fact signed out of the championship.
Christian doesn't know what to do with his hands.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that was really good. Christian, have you ever done the standings ever before? That is. Oh, okay, never mind. It's not that impressive. The 167 points for Andy Boardman in the Cup Series Championship. This is all Porsche Cup cars, of course. George McDonald in second place, 144, is not here today. And Rafael Huell is in striking distance and might, depending on how many points they get here today, take over second place in the championship. And Yan Yo might be stuck in fourth place But again, if Huel and Yo continue to battle each other, you might see the reverse of that. Yo might take third away from Huel. Huel might drop to fourth. Probably won't that happen because of McDonald, but you never can tell. Vic Oslin with 93 points, John Doe Germany on 26, and Vitor Marcos on 23. And like a broken record, everyone else has retired from the championship.
Oh, don't worry.
That's fine, because here's what we're going to do. Phil Roberts, your analysis of the championship thus far and what you expect to see in this race.
Right, well, that's put me on the spot now. I was going to say quality over quantity has been the main, what do you call it, takeaway from this championship so far. Racing's been, granted we haven't had that many cars, but it's been a good championship. As we said at the start of the stream, to be honest, absolutely great driving from a lot of these drivers. A few little bits here and there, but not anything major. You see the cars just come out with Boardman and Verstappen, Daly, Water, and what's that? Pimlott and Redford, and then Eraser, Stans, and Malcolm to finish us off as they race around to do their warm-up lap.
Yeah, the final parade lap of the season, guys. It's quite sad to see, actually. These are usually the laps where we try to chat a little bit, try and keep the excitement up. But yeah, I'm liking this. This is nice. This is chill.
I'm sorry I'm laughing, but apparently all the lovely folks at home did not hear Christian do the standings, and I know what that is. That's because the transition has his mic still muted in the transition.
No.
So you did not get to hear it. Listen, I'll do a dramatic reenactment.
Oh, I thought you were going to do a Christian Stricker impression.
I am going to do a Christian Stricker impression, right? And here are the AM series standings, and I saw a lady walk a tortoise once. There it is. Nailed it.
That's better than your impression of me, Jesse.
My impression of you cannot be said on air. Otherwise, I just couldn't do it. For those of you at home, you saw the standings for the GT4 AM, and I will tell you, Christian said it's perhaps the most interesting championship of the three. He's absolutely right. And on top of that, Christian did an excellent job doing it. It's unfortunate that nobody heard that but us.
That's my own fault, isn't it?
It was fantastic. Moving on, looking at chat, a couple of people asking for a little bit of rain. I'm going to be disappointed. None today. A perfect night for racing here in Italy. Optimum track 20 degrees C, and a little bit of a tailwind down this first straight, and that will be a crosswind as they get to the dogleg back straight. A lot of Daily fans, as there usually are in chat, and some of them chanting, I think, the Ronaldo thing as well.
Oh, right.
I think I'm going to hit him with, a little bit of that going on. That's cool. I will not spoil the football game that just ended with Ronaldo in it. Rather, I do know that he stayed to the end this time, so that's great.
Didn't go up in the soul.
Oh, dear. Well, here it is. Final race of the GT4 / Porsche Cup mixed class season here on Thursday.
Oh, here we go.
1 hour, 1:05 a.m. Austin, take it away.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, and yeah,
opportunity. It's your show.
I know you'd think I'd have this down by now, but no, heading towards the green light, rounding the final corner now. Remember, these Porsche Cup cars in front have been so close in qualifying, just a third. It's just 0.3 of a second. Separating those, it is a third of a second, pretty much. I was waiting for green. There's the green light, and that is Zandi. Oh, that's not Janyo. That is you. That is you with a huge start up front there, going side by side.
Oh, he's done it.
And maybe looking at the early lead, taking the inside line, going a little bit wide, pushing Boardman wide, and Boardman having the inside again on the switchback. But having to settle for second place, but almost making it through. Looking at the inside line is blocked off, and that allows Rafael Kiel to take a look around the outside as well.
I was going to say, Yo had such a good start. He had the inside line for turn 2, but Boardman probably knew you just kept it around. If he keeps it around the inside, the outside of turn 2, he's got the advantage into turn 3 and 4, and he's solidified his his lead for this first half of the first lap. Yo now coming under pressure from fuel just behind it. It's coming up into this hairpin now, braking just on the apex of that little right hand before you go into the hairpin as we're on board with fuel now into the back straight. And just about, these are still just about in tow, but we'll see in about 5 minutes time how close the racing will be between these two.
Yeah, we'll have to wait for the race to unfold a little bit, but again, here's the interesting fight. Rudy Phil Malta and Neil Pimlott. And that's Phil Malta, and at some point along the way, actually, wait, no, just take a deep breath for just a moment. That's Phil Malta on the back of Daly. So competing with a completely different class of car, but again, sticking with. So Ginetta, again, very flat, very technical track around here at Misano. I'm expecting good things from that Ginetta.
It's certainly, when we've had a look at it in the past, that apart from Kyle Army, I think Misano is one of the Ginetta's stronger tracks. It has only one bit of a long straight, but it's not long enough to hit the rev limiter in these things. But yeah, there's plenty of, as you say, technical twisty bits on this track, so plenty for the Ginetta to show what it's strongest at. But as we see, Neil Pimlott's not that far behind, and then as you can just about see behind Pimlott is John Araser in third place for the silver class. We move back to see that's Malcolm. Thankfully, Malcolm and Redford have changed colours this week. I think that's Matthew Malcolm in the white Alpine, just in front of Redford in the black and
here
red
we go.
Alpine.
Send it.
Send it. Here we go.
Oh.
There it is.
Oh, he's sending it. Let's go. Oh, it's contact.
He sent it a little bit too hard. That's Van der Wood going into the side of Redford. Not happy about that.
Van der Wood is not happy with that. Alexander must have thought he didn't have room down the inside. Another interesting thing that's happened here, Stant's 604 Maserati didn't take time in qualifying, and that car is still sitting in pit lane. I was going to say, I thought Stant had the best idea starting from the back of the pack here, especially with the nature of this track's first sector. Turns out there's something a bit more serious going on with the 604. They did not take place in qualifying, and I'm suspecting here that they are not here at the time, despite the fact that they're sitting in the car. I hope all is well there for the second Kvetch car. But as we flash forward back to the front, Boardman has got away, just about a second in front of Yo Rafael Kuhl, running third right behind them. The Porsche Cup car's clean, and Wolf Motorsport in chat said, oh, good start, they're all clean. I'm going to tell you something, if they wouldn't have been clean, they would have probably gotten some abuse from us in the booth. It's 12 cars.
There's not a whole lot to hit. Let's be realistic. So, I mean, it's not just our ire. It's the stewards as well. You know, they're going to put time into this, and you know, we do it because we love it. But at the same time, but Phil, that is more your area than mine.
Yeah, we've had. I think Jesse will even. Do we even have to call in Jesse Lee on Monday night to sort out some rather questionable driving from some people? But in the Monday champ, the Ginettas, but still fun race. I think it was probably a bit intense because Ram's older as well. But we move on. But yeah, going back to your point, I wouldn't have thought like with 12 cars we would see that many people hit each other. Maybe a few door bangs here and there, which are fine. But there's always going to be a bit of that, particularly in complicated Sector 1 that Misano is. I mean, Sector 1 just takes you just to the left-hander just before the first bit of straight you get. As we move back to see Daly and Fillmore to there, that's Jordan Daly running P5 overall, P2 in class, and one thing to point out probably is that line from Jordan Daly there. Not exactly the most advisable line, just going off the track.
He's pitting.
He's pitting.
Oh,
interesting.
I forgot. Yes, we have pits. We have pits. completely forgot.
Yeah, this isn't Project Cars.
That's
3,
a very early one.
Pitting isn't something that's just madly inconvenient. You know, it is something that needs to be done, and especially in this series where it's a litre of fuel that you need to take on board. So, Daly getting that stop out of the way as soon as possible. But that could also be bad news for Pimlott, because if Phil Malta has the pace on them, I mean, ultimately, Daly was basically kind of slowing Phil Malta up. So,
what in the world is going on with Mike Redford's car, the Not Sheep Racing car. It has a sheep logo on the side and on the front. It looked like a Ghostbusters
Should we
logo.
take a look?
And
Ooh.
it's not. It's a sheep, not sheep racing. Okay, that makes me think that they're smuggling sheep or something. Like that has the opposite effect. Is that a Punterino stick?
It is a
That is a
Punterino.
Punterino
It
stick.
is.
Way.
Yeah. I don't think it's been helpful this season, but it is there.
Wow.
I'm not really sure what sort of benefit you get smuggling sheep, Jesse. Is it for the wool? Is it for the meat? Why do you smuggle sheep into?
I mean, you're the Welshman on this.
I was gonna say,
particular
let's
cast.
go to our
You
Cardiff
tell me.
correspondent.
Like sheep's big money, right? I'm pretty sure.
It depends. Depends what it. I can't believe we're talking about the sheep, the economic value of sheep. But yeah, we'll Jesse.
Oh, he's
Lee,
gone a
is
bit
on
deep,
the-
though.
I'm not
Oh, my
sheep.
goodness.
Oh, that was big sideways.
He's gonna
That
go
was-
say hi
The
to the sheep.
I think the sheep shifted in that
nearly
car.
went to the
The sheep's-
slaughterhouse there. Jesse.
Wow! Yeah, it
Oh,
sure
wow.
did. And now Kvetch Motorsports back to the back bumper. The last
Oh, is he
time
gonna send
they
it?
ended up
Ooh.
side by side. It came to blows down in the very next corner. Actually, no, this is the front straight as it's dark. Oh, a little bit of sideways there. Do keep in mind the Maserati has no traction control or ABS. A very difficult car to drive. Vanderwood has piloted the car all season. We'll know some of the in and outs of that car, know what it's capable of, what it can't do, but you got to give credit to anybody willing to drive a car like that. And by the way, what kind of race is it today? We got people in our chat. Batty Stone is cheering on the pit lane. I don't know. I don't know exactly what that means, but yeah, let's go pits.
He wants people having drive-through probably. I was about to say, just as we saw Jordan Daly going to the pits, Misano not known for being very let's just say generous with.
Oh,
with
he's
it.
back in
Oh,
there.
we go.
Track
Ah,
limits.
Oh, I just on the brakes just a little.
they should
bit
put
too early.
ABS
I
in this
mean,
Maserati.
Imagine that, Christian. Imagine
The amount of
making Maserati.
sense. It would be
But still,
beautiful.
in a straight line, though, it's got some pace. I mean, I know the Alpine's not the best, but the Maserati's really pulling its weight. Bit of a later apex here. Might have a better exit going onto the
Oh,
straight.
here we go.
That's
Oh, that's real wide.
yeah, that's Redford going right onto the Astro, and that might just not quite be enough. There we go. There's the Maserati squeezing its way on through, but it's not over yet. There is a few small kinks in this straight, and no, that is the Maserati on through. So great overtake, actually. That was a good opportunity.
Oh,
That's
my
the-
goodness!
Yeah, I don't think I was about to say that we talk a bit about the Maserati having no ABS, and that's one of the one of the things you have to keep in mind. This is a big spin there and the word in front. But I'm about to say, no ABS. You do have to stop in a straight line more than some of these other cars. Like Redford here has the benefit of ABS. Control brake. You can just about hang that brake pedal on as you turn in, and the car deals with the managing the brakes for you. But in that Maserati, you're all on your own with those brakes, and you do have to brake a lot earlier than some of these other GT4s. And I think Mike Redford was just a bit caught out there into what the Jesse Lee call it, the dog leg.
Yeah, it's a dog leg back straight. I'm not an avid golfer, but I do golf occasionally, and when it bows like that, it's a dog leg, and I'm assuming they use that for track as well. I don't know. I repurposed the word. It's a dog leg. It happens sometimes. Raphael Huell continuing the pursuit on Yo for second place. Boardman has a 2.1 second lead and the Speed Juice fastest lap of the race thus far. I worry that nobody will be able to take that away from them today. Yo, though, looking like we're going to have a fight here in a little while. But keep in mind, they're going to have to keep their cars on the racetrack. Misano is a track where you can pick up what I would refer to as cheap track limit warnings, meaning that you can do very little wrong and still get punished for it around some of these corners, especially in low light conditions like it is tonight, especially with the track in the condition it is, just going a little bit wide. Also, too, the biggest thing of all of that, probably just the cars that they're in. They're less negotiable in some of these corners as opposed to GT3 machinery, of course. And one other thing to mention as well, no live stewarding on Thursday, so any bumps, knocks, or aggression seen will be handled after the race is over. But with 12 cars, 11 on the track, we're hoping that well, maybe we don't have any of those issues.
That's it. But Jesse, I'm finding it real. I must admit, I'm finding it really hard to focus on the race because what I've just heard is that someone who I've really enjoyed working with for the last year and a bit plays golf.
Okay,
What's wrong with
all
golf?
right.
I'm bewildered.
I thought you were going to say something about sheep.
Just realizing someone I've really enjoyed working with and talking to is a bit weird.
What? I mean, I don't like golf, but I'd also point out that I'm not going to judge a man who likes golf.
There are a couple things I'd like to say, but I won't.
That will be after the broadcast, you'll tell them.
There is nothing wrong. All right. There's
Playing with
nothing
balls.
wrong. Going out to a wood, all right, and knocking some balls around, and occasionally throwing your club into said wood.
I'm putting said balls in holes, Jesse Lee.
I don't do a lot of that personally.
Okay.
I've not quite mastered the actually playing the game properly yet.
Wait, no, there is one really fun element. Golf carts. Golf carts are hilarious.
That is true.
And I really, really, really want to try them.
Sounds like we gotta go golfing.
I didn't do this, but if I did do this, I might have gotten stuck once in a golf cart. I kind of drove it one particular drive tire over into like sort of where the sand pit is, and it kind of high centered itself.
Oh.
And instead of asking for help, I just sort of rammed it a bit, but that didn't happen.
Oh, of course not.
That sounds like the most Christian thing. You're about to crash a golf cart, and it's just send it.
Well,
I thought you were about to say you crash a golf cart and see a woman walking a turtle.
that would make me crash a golf cart, to be fair. If I see a woman walking a tortoise again, I would probably crash the golf cart because I'm not looking where I'm going.
Like, Phil, you don't get it. Christian abandoned that stream because he was so fascinated by this woman walking.
Just have one car being focused on for the last 20 minutes and say, oh, we're not moving. No, she's nearly across the road.
Big old slide right there.
We go for the replays.
Loving to see that in the rear view mirror and almost a huge crash. Raphael Huel. What happened here?
I see some dirt rallying action right here. Look at this.
Oh, there you go.
Look at that.
Oh, beautiful.
That is why there's the campaign against sausage curbs. They even in sim. I don't even want to make that comparison. This is quite a serious thing. Obviously, I think we're here. We love motorsport, and we care about it quite deeply. Sausage curbs are just dangerous, frankly.
I was about to say as well. I think Huel's pit stop's probably going to be a bit longer than everyone else's because not only does he have to put some fuel on, but there's probably some trouser changes going on.
Yeah,
that's a code brown if I've ever seen.
Oh, he's doing it again.
Oh, he's doing it again. That Porsche Cup car is absolutely all over the shop, and I would not be surprised if they come in at some point to rectify this situation. Surely the tires were very hot. I think we could all agree after that first slide, and of course now making it worse, compounding the issue. That has let Yo get away just a little bit. It was Here's makes no difference even between them, and now it's up to 2.5, make it 2.6 seconds the gap there. The Streppen still leading in the GT4 Silver class. No threat there. Daly, who is running second in 11th place now, but has completed, in fact, is the only car to complete their pit stop. Phil Malter over Pimlott in GT4 AM by just about 3 seconds there. Eraser second in the GT4 Silver class, but is in an island unto themselves. Malcolm, Vanderwood, Redford, the rest of the cars that are on the track, stand, of course, still in the pit lane. Didn't take an official time in qualifying and has not ran a lap here. Now, to be classified, they have to run 85% of the leader's laps, or 85% of the time in the race, obviously. Clearly, at this stage, not going to happen for the Kvetch driver.
Yeah, so we've still got, I mean, Borkman's on lap 9, or lap 10, beg your pardon. He's completing 9 laps at the minute, but lap 10, so, what do you say, 85. So Sarah Stan probably needs to come out of the pits in the next 5-10 minutes and match Andy Borkman. Well, not Andy Borkman's pace. When you say the leader, Jesse Lee, is that the leader of GT4 at that point?
I believe it's the leader overall. Because
It's a good
the
question.
most not me question you've ever asked.
But Jesse,
that-
you're the
it's
maths
a-
guy. Here you go.
Yeah, I'm a
That's
maths guy.
That's more
I'm
of
a
a
maths
technical
guy.
question, not a math
But
question.
that is a technical regulation, and it's never come up in the entirety of RCI. I don't know. I'm assuming that is versus your class, because that wouldn't be fair, clearly, if it was a different class. So I am assuming it is your class.
Or at least the same card
Let's-
category.
Right.
That's one for Tom Bryant to expand on. There you go, Tom. More holes poked by me. Get them sorted out.
Why
Do you
why
like
do you
poking
this
holes there, Phil Roberts?
I'm an engineer, Jesse Lee.
You're a holes man.
I find
All right.
I find gaps in writings, and I like to have them sorted out and rectified. That's why.
You'd be perfect working for Red Bull.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
moving
exactly,
right
yeah.
along. Andy Boardman continues to lead the race, still needs a pit stop. Raphael Huell has come into the pit lane, as I pretty much expected. That car looked an absolute
What is the catering
handful.
budget for RCI, Jesse? Do you know?
It's incredible. It was 1.5 mil last I saw. For us.
Yeah.
After taxes or before taxes?
We had a really big staff meal, and that's all you
Yeah,
need to know.
that's what it was.
Okay.
What happened was we ordered the wrong variety of wings, you see, and it was those were the mistake.
Not
Yeah.
buffalo
They
wings.
were meant to be buffalo, but they turned out to be carbon fiber. I mean, it
Yeah,
happens.
they don't taste good, in case you're wondering.
Yeah,
They're quite crunchy.
I mean, there's no point letting them go to waste.
Country, crunchy and sharp as well.
Crunchy shot. Yeah, I didn't have to eat a lot. I already felt pretty full after one bite. You know.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to
Tasty.
put the leftovers on the car. I guess.
I think I actually lost
Yeah, otherwise
weight
it'd be a
as
waste.
well.
You lost weight? Oh, nice.
I think I lost weight eating those.
There's a
wings.
life hack. Eat carbon fiber. You will lose weight.
No, don't do that.
Totally.
Do not do that. Do only eat food. Don't eat cars.
Yeah.
Only
I think
eat food.
PSA.
What about drinks, Jesse? Do they count as food, or are we just being facetious with?
I mean, I'm just drinking Castrol GTX right now.
Nope, don't do that either. Nope. RC, I would like to remind you to only drink beverages and not motor oil.
What
Yep.
about these Tide Pods, Jesse Lynn?
RC, I would like to remind you to only eat candy and not laundry detergent.
This is just like every, during the endurance races, we really need Jesse just to chime into the box and just say, guys, drink water. Just
Do you know
Keeping
what?
the children under control.
Do you know what?
RCI
Politically
DSAs.
correct me is the most unfun version of me.
I like the idea of getting an app on my phone. That's just.
I like the,
every time it's like the notification goes off, it's Jesse Lee just saying drink. Okay.
I like the old Jesse Lee better.
Or the one that drunk Castrol GTX.
No, can't do that. Can't do that. RC, I remind you, only drink safe beverages and do not drink things that go in cars.
What is considered a
Unless
safe
it's water,
beverage?
in that case, drink that. But don't drink the green water. That's a whole different. Don't drink that.
No,
Yeah,
it
apple
smells
tangos
good.
are awful. Yeah.
No.
Oh,
baby!
What the?
Christopher Streppin
Oy,
going
oy, oy.
league style into the pit lane
Alright,
as
let's
if
have a
his
look at
life
that.
depended on it. That was a Bruce Willis
Oh.
sort of like intro there.
Just like those-
WWE doesn't have intros that exciting. Look at this!
Just
I
making
thought
sure
that
we're
was-
awake. We're all right, Christoph. We don't need to.
Yeah. Thank you for making us pay attention. I would say.
What on
was
earth
optimization
happened
or
there?
I'm not sure if that was optimization or intentional, but that was nuts.
We were talking about
That-
golfing, and he wanted to get a hole in one, I think.
Does the optimal line into the pit lane? Like having to go round?
That is not the optimum. Nearly crashing is not the optimum line.
I would argue that, actually.
I've got one person who wants to dispute that, Jesse. Colin.
Have they crashed in the pit lane before? They're
More than likely, yes.
yes, then that it's invalid. If you crash doing it, it is not a good line.
Like-
well,
But he didn't crash.
You didn't crash, so it is a good line.
I have been outdone by my own line.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah.
Let's just remind you.
Let's have a look at this pit exit. Is
Actually,
there
I think
anywhere near as
Verstappen's
dramatic?
actually come out behind Jordan Daly. I don't know how this has happened.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
I mean, Daly with the undercut.
Daly is-
Let's
Has he put
let's
tires
take a
on or
look at
something?
this Daly.
Well, he has.
Car number 7 coming
Has
out
he put
behind
tires
Jordan Daly by 15 seconds. So whether Verstappen's done this to keep things interesting and entertaining for the chat, which
Or more likely, he's forgotten to untick his touching his
Far
tyre
more
box in the
likely,
pit
but
end,
we, guys,
Hmm.
we might actually have a bit of a race on here because Verstappen's quick, but 13.8 seconds, 14 seconds is a long time.
He's warming
we
the
can see him
tires.
Yeah.
He's just weaving about, warming up those
I
tires.
definitely
Yeah.
think he has taken tires. I don't know if he's done that for the entertainment of all of us here or not, but either way, Daly with the early pit stop leading. By the way, Daly assumed that they were going to be well off the pace. Talk about very little confidence coming in. Was more obviously focused on beating your Razor and solidifying second place in the championship. Verstappen too far out in front. Verstappen, of course, already the GT4 Silver champion coming into today's race. And there was nothing that was going to change that. Daly just needs to
Got a
finish
yellow
the
flag.
race.
They think Jan Joos. I'm not sure Jan Joos had a moment or something. We just had yellow flag somewhere on the track. I don't know where they've gone.
Janjo has just pitted, so I'm not quite sure what you. He might have had a bit of a spin on the.
Oh no, he
exit.
did have a spin. He did have a spin.
Oh, okay.
Into pit lane. I'm not sure if you can catch it, Christian. It's about probably. About
It's not
20,
on
30
the.
seconds back.
No, there's no way to catch it now.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a shame, but yeah, it looks like it's a pretty clean sailing for Boardman so far. Unless Boardman's pushing that car so hard we get a drive through, but even then, Boardman's quick. I said it in the chat just earlier, but Boardman is incredibly quick, and there's a reason, for that. I mean, again, top of the leaderboard in a lot of the series that we do. We mentioned earlier as well the battle between themselves and Verstappen. It's some insane talent on the grid.
Move back to Neil Pimlott here. He's P2 in class. I think he's lost a bit of time to Rudy Philmont there. His championship rival. Just that Ginetta there. I'm not sure you can just see him there. He is.
It's a long race.
Certainly is. We're not even halfway through at the minute, but he's not.
This
not
seems
that
like
far.
a really long stop for Yo, doesn't it? Like he's been in there. A ton.
Yeah.
I think he's repaired
Sure.
damage or something,
probably
Jesse
has,
Lee,
yeah.
because he did go straight into the barrier before pit exit. What he did was on the penultimate corner. I think he went a bit too wide, realised he wanted the pit, and just ended up going into the barrier basically.
So basically,
Yan is a lap down now.
He is.
oh wow.
If you look at also on the map where Hull is, he's just about to come onto the big long back straight. That's a huge gap.
Yeah, that's monumental. It's what that is, and no, that's not what Jan will be after. And again, falling behind some of the GT4 field as well. There, coming out behind John Razor. So, I mean, Yeo's got it all to make up too.
It's not a stranger to that. We will remember last week he was involved in an incident, not of his making, but probably had about 30, 40 seconds of damage to sort out in pit lane. So yeah, he's not a stranger to this sort of driving. He only has to make it past. Well, he'll probably get past John Razor next lap. I don't think he's got enough time to catch up with him this lap, but he'll probably have a Razor next lap, and then Pimlott lap after that, and then Fulmore to maybe the lap after that. So just take his time. He's got plenty of places to overtake. Misano is quite good for overtaking, at least between these two cars. Porsche has a massive advantage on the straight line department, and there are at least one very long straight, two decently sized straights, enough for the Porsche to stretch his legs out a bit. It's just some of these corners, maybe like some of these like fast moving corners, probably not enough to try and get past. It's probably a bit too daring, as we see Yanyo just about.
I was gonna say.
I think he's thought better about it, but one thing you may find just coming through this corner now is you have so much more acceleration in these GT4s. A bit of oversteer there as looks to get past the Razor. It may try into turn 4. There we go. I think the Razor's braked a bit earlier than usual just to accommodate for that pass, but sometimes when you're not racing other people, you don't want to be in the way of faster classes.
So it's just easier just to get out of the way, and that's exactly what Razor's just done. So, I mean, it's not really a points advantage in it anyway. So Yeo catching up to lap by lap, catching up to Raphael Huel, but a huge mountain to climb.
I just want to point something out. When Verstappen came out of the pits, he was about 15 seconds behind Jordan Daly. He's been running, I'd say, at least a solid second and a half faster per lap than Jordan Daly each lap. He's got the gap down to 10 seconds already. Verstappen is going to catch Daly very quickly at this rate.
Oh yeah, but again, Christian, don't forget this is Misano, so it's not the easiest track to overtake either. And in the words of a late great Murray Walker, catching up is one thing, but overtaking is quite another.
Another quote from Murray Walker, I absolutely adore. It's hold on, let me formulate what it actually was in my brain. Unless I'm very much mistaken, I am very much mistaken.
I love that one. Best Murrayisms. Again, in the chat, if you've got any, put them in. Seriously, this is a chance to interact. You know, it's chill. You're getting past Phil Malta, so now there's no cars between themselves and Raphael Kuhl, by the way, just with that little move on the start finish. I think one of my favourite Murrayisms is, what was it? It was, I don't want to misquote it, but it was something along the lines of, and the guy he's in is unlike any other car in the world, apart from the one right behind him, which is identical.
It's something along those lines, yeah.
I know which one you're on about, but I can't remember exactly either.
I think he was like back in his. I'm not sure if it was when he was doing Formula One or when he was doing rallying. I forgot which one it was. He used to do like back in the day, like 80s, 70s. He used to do like British Rallycross as well, like
yes.
on
yes.
a program called BBC Grandstand, which is
I
sort of
remember,
like
yes.
It's not on anymore, but it's like I think you just had a bit of a moment.
little
I got a bit distracted on my second monitor there, but yeah, BBC Grandstand was more like a what do you call it, like a sports variety show sort of thing. So whatever's live on that day would get shown, basically. But I don't think the BBC do that much anymore because the demand for sports is specialised. So we have specialist sports channels now.
I mean, let's not forget Murray did everything from snooker to BTCC. So speaking of
snooker,
yes, he did.
I'd like to see that.
He did snooker once on one of these.
Yeah,
shows, but I don't think he did snooker properly.
But he still did it and was incredible at it. I mean, again, the man could commentate anything, and as a commentator, one of my bigger influences. Speaking of BTCC, though, didn't they only run around about the same amount of cars we have here? And do you want to talk about incidents and accidents? Well,
I think the super touring car. I think the super touring car era, which was like the mid '90s, that was certainly like at least 20 odd cars.
Oh,
we've had our first drive-through.
Malcolm.
It's Matthew Malcolm in the white notch racing car.
Do you get
we talked about this. We alluded to this during the race, but Misano not known for its what do you call generous track limit, should we say? Very strict on certain areas of the track, particularly on the dog leg corner at the end of this straight. I know that you can fall victim very easily, particularly in the dark, to that one. You just run even a little bit wide, and the game just slaps you straight away with a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, I was saying before, the quickest way around, there are some corners you really have to kind of dig the car into, and well, again, that's the price you pay. You take it a little bit too far, a little bit too wide, you get the throttle down, you think you've got the corner exit all lined up, and then all of a sudden you've gone too wide, and there we are. There you have it. There's your drive-through, and that's not going to do Malcolm any favours. But yeah, other than that, it looks like the order's pretty spaced out.
As we see Van der Voort and Redford here just coming out onto the back straight now. Redford's not really let Van der Voort go. One thing that's a bit weird about this Maserati, and I'm not sure if it's just how the game handles it, but I noticed that you don't quite see the lights on the Maserati until it's in view like that, because it just looks like these lights just come from nowhere, but from a distance anyway. But yeah, see Mike Redford again. He's not again.
It's gone deep.
Wow. I thought the Alpine was meant to be the rally car here, not the Maserati. Wow. Returning back.
Oh, Redford! Oh, what a cheeky move! Oh, that's so cheeky.
Wow. So the Maserati Ferrari Lancia relationship coming out there a little bit with the Maserati, although I'm not entirely certain it's suited for off-road driving, but again, it doesn't seem like it's too much harm done. Didn't lose too much time to Redford there, but again, we won't know until whether this undercut's a good idea. I mean, looking at the cars that have pit first, they have, on average, come out ahead of the cars that have pit afterwards. Mikul is ahead of Heel, Daly ahead of Verstappen. So
Look at that gap now.
Although we should point
3.6 seconds.
should point out that I don't think it's the undercut, but I think Daly's one is because Verstappen took tyres, and Huel's one is because Yo clearly had a damaged car. So I think this one's probably going to be a bit more a better indication of how strong the undercut is.
Yes.
I mean, we can certainly find that one out, but don't do that to me, Phil.
Phil out here is like, I want no ambiguity at all. I'm going to tell you the way it is. Phil Roberts, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like David Croft when he does the same stuff.
Phil Roberts,
Wow, we
a
are-
beacon of factual.
We're
integrity.
calling out everyone.
I was just going to say that, Phil. We
Yeah.
are calling out everybody. Red Bull hates us.
The next thing you know, we're going to be boycotted by Red Bull, and they're just not going to talk to us anymore. So,
That's fine. That's fine by me. I'm just kidding. Red Bull, please don't.
Would you like-
maybe. Oh, what's going on here? Another slide. And you wouldn't typically
Well, it's very
assume.
sliding.
Yeah, you wouldn't typically assume that you'd be sliding around this much, but around this racetrack, predominantly flat. It does have some camber in some of the corners, but it does invite you to, I think the kids call it bro steering a little bit, and then have an encounter
Bro steering.
correct it and all that. I'm hip, I'm young, I'm with it. I know what all the young people are
I've
saying.
never heard of bro steering.
You never. It's like where it's like where if you get understeer in a car. then
Oh
that's
my
where-
god!
Oh!
Oh, that's Pimlock.
That's Neil Pimlock. That's Neil Pimlock on Verstappen there. I'm not sure
Surprise.
if he's laughing or not.
No, that's just coming out the pits. Pimlock's
That
just come out the
was-
pits.
As close as you get.
And I think
without-
Jordan Daly's got.
Oh no!
oh no!
Jordan Daly has received a drive-through for track limits. Goodness grief. And while we have your attention in the middle part of this race, first of all, if you're new here, welcome. Number two, this isn't how we normally call races here at RCI TV. We went podcast style for the finale due to the low attendance in the race. Have a little fun with the finale of the season. We didn't want to not bring it to you, of course. So we had to make it interesting for ourselves a little bit and for you at home. We hope that you enjoy playing along with us. Normal service resumed next, on Friday, tomorrow. Speaking of upcoming races, the RCI Bathurst 12 Hours coming up November 26th. Grab one of your best mates. Still time to sign up. Do your pre-quali. Get involved with that. The biggest race for the rest of the year for us, actually, the 12-hour. You're going to want to be there for the final big one of 2022. Additionally to that, talking about Thursday Champ today, well, what about the next Thursday Champ? Season 11 Thursday Champ is on. GT4 and BMW touring cars. Those are the little M2s that were so fun. The very first time we saw the M2s, they were also on track with the GT4s. It was a fun time, and no hour races in that upcoming Thursday Championship. GT4 and BMW touring cars, but two 30-minute races. That's the format, and points given out for both of those. So effectively, 10 races. There's 5 rounds, 2 races a week, 10 races in total. Indianapolis, Suzuka, Alton Park, Monza, and Zolder. That series starts on the 17th of November. Can't wait to see that. It's been a while since we've seen the touring cars out there. It's going to be a mixed class affair. It's going to be interesting having the GT4s being the faster cars, guys.
Yeah, I was about to make the point as well when we got I just seen Mike Redford just had a bit of a spin off on my second monitor there. But
Oh, he's done it
back to
again.
your point. Just
Has he?
going by, yeah, just
Oh.
about. He should. I'm not sure if you can go back like say 5 seconds.
I'll go back 20 seconds. We'll get everything here.
Well made. And I think number 7. That's number 7. I think Christoph Verstappen's got a drive through now as well.
Oh,
Redford's been flirting with it all race long. I saw him in the grass on a couple of occasions. But on this occasion, he has done it.
He found the sheep.
There we
Found
go.
the sheep in- you
Found
don't
the
find sheep in the gravel.
smuggling
And here's
into the
Verstappen.
country. And there we are, Verstappen taking that drive-through. And looking at the chat here, Kevin Boss did call 4 drive-throughs at the start of this, and did say not so long ago, was it 28 minutes left? Doesn't look great odds for you on the drive-through, because we hadn't seen a single one. Well, it's like buses. You wait for one, and several turn up at once. So
We've had 3 drive-throughs so far. We've had Malcolm, Daly, and Verstappen at the moment. I was about to make the point we get interrupted sometimes. But go back to Christian Stricker not knowing what bro steer is. We don't think Tom Bryan. I just noticed Tom Bryan's attempted to, but basically bro steer is when the car understeers and people's natural reactions to turn in more than they should do. So the idea is bro steer is like you're just turning like a. I don't really know. I don't know where the term.
Oh, Verstappen!
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
It's a big slide here by Verstappen.
Oh, Daly, you know what to do.
Daly and Verstappen.
Send
Daly's
it,
gonna
send
go down the
it, send
inside.
it,
Jordan
send
Daly
it.
trying to take the position away. He's going to break first around the outside. The Chevrolet.
Oh.
Can Verstappen pin him there? He will do. Daly still there on the inside, but now the track going away from him. It's going to take a Herculean effort, and it won't need one. It won't be there. Verstappen with the power of America's V8, the freedom of an entire people's, goes wide in the corner. Look, Jordan Daly up the inside. Can't quite do it. The V8, there's no replacement for displacement, and the Chevrolet back out in front here.
No, turbochargers are just God's way of saying you need
but
more
Daly-
cylinders. And
Daly's going for. Oh, Daly's going for it!
Daly on the inside. Oh my! Oh wow! Okay, right. That's Daly getting through into the dogleg.
Here he comes again. Here comes
Verstappen again
Verstappen.
on the inside, into the hairpin. Side by side into the final sector. I mean, this track isn't wide enough for this, guys.
Oh, he's got back.
Sure is.
Daly having to back up, but still side by side coming into the final corner, tucking it behind Verstappen, going for a late-minute dive. Not quite.
Oh, a slide here by Verstappen. Here comes the BMW
Daly
again.
managing to get the exit on the overrun.
Oh,
Incredible stuff there. Every time Verstappen got out in
they're
front,
still
he
side by side.
oversteered a little bit, and now they're still side by side. Coming through the first section of the racetrack, turns 1 and 2, they've still not made contact, folks, as close as they've been. Verstappen back out in front, goes wide. Intent shown by Jordan Daly to go back down the inside. He doesn't
He's
quite
done
have
it.
the overlap, or does he? A
Come
little
on,
bit wide
again.
again by Verstappen. Oh, the BMW sideways on the curb. He's lined it up. Straight lining
got the
here.
run.
The Chevrolet
Oh my
goes
God,
up the
Daly!
track. Here comes Jordan Daly. Daly's going to sneak on by, and down to the inside is Verstappen. Will he try something crazy here? No, he does not. He falls back in line for the. Oh, it's Jordan Daly. Daly's They're doing this on purpose.
Decides he's going to drive properly.
Verstappen not happy with anything that's transported there. A little bit of a flash
I
of light.
refuse to
Daly-
believe this is real.
This
No,
is
I
absolutely
think
amazing.
it
I've been
is.
sitting here with a smile on my face for the past 2 minutes, and they're still going side by side.
This isn't real. They're doing this on purpose at this point,
Yeah,
but I'll bite anyway. The Just Gamers BMW fighting it out with the pride of America. I actually don't know what Verstappen's team name is, but until proven otherwise.
But again,
What is it?
Look at
I think it's like
him on the
Verstappen.
inside.
It's just
going
Verstappen
down
Motorsports.
Oh, it is
inside.
Verstappen Motorsports. And now back out in front again, the Chevrolet for the time being. Both of these cars oversteering several times, and it's been 2 laps, and they've just about got it sorted now. An excellent battle here between
Daly
Verstappen
getting
and
the
Daly.
run in.
Oh, Daly closes up to the
Can
back
I
of him
just-
there.
Got a
Ooh,
little
that
bit
was
caught,
another
Verstappen with a
wiggle
little
there
bit of
by
a wiggle on the
Verstappen.
exit. Verstappen with a little bit of a wiggle. Daly pulling in a little bit behind and not quite close enough to actually make a look on the inside of coming up here, but these cars still following very closely, and this has been like what 2-3 laps now. So, holy crap, guys!
I'm going to point out that these two are bickering. John Razor's about 10, 15 seconds up the road now because of both of them taking a DT. John Razor gone from 3rd place in silver. He's
Wait,
in
has he
T1
done that? Oh, they
in
got
silver.
drive-thrus.
Yeah, exactly. Well, these two were having drive-throughs and bickering, of course. It's
Oh, yes, of course.
so yeah, he's about. I'm not really sure. 24 seconds is quite the way. We're going to have to wait until sector They come midway down the straight now when John O'Race has just come past the timing line for sector 3. So we'll see where these two end up now on the timing tower. But I think it's going to be about 12, 15 seconds maybe between these three. But it's been very intense driving so far.
That entire sequence to me
That was amazing.
did not seem real. That seemed like
it
they
was
were.
choreographed.
I think it was. It
Has
probably
to
was.
be choreographed.
Well, it was so perfect, it must be choreographed, but I think that's what Verstappen and Daly can produce. That was brilliant entertainment. We've seen it before this season, and they've just shown us again the brilliant racecraft they have.
Credit to the both of them for driving
we've
as
had
hard as
another
they
drive-through.
were.
Is that Malcolm again?
Sliding into the quarters.
Yeah,
Oh,
Malcolm's had the second drive-through of the day in the 199. Fortunate for him.
Well, who called it? Someone said
That's
Paul
it.
and
I
Chad.
was
So we're on
well,
4 DTs
Kevin.
now. Any more Kevin? He's sweating now.
Still 18 minutes remaining. Almost 18 and a half minutes remaining even. So, again, anything can happen. So,
Well, interesting battle here. John O'Racer out in front. The only car in the GT4 Silver class to not get a drive-through today. They can ill-advise to have one here. They keep it clean. They're going to have a fantastic win to end the season. According to my math, and you know I always am doing the maths, and I have done before we even got here today, admittedly, Daly would still take home second place in that championship simply because he would still get a podium. That would not be enough points for Eraser to overtake him. Would be just a couple shy if Eraser did win. Or at least I'm pretty confident that is the way the math shakes out. Now, if Verstappen has the fastest lap, which I believe they do in that class, that further hurts John Eraser's point of winning the race, of course. Leader Andy Boardman into the pit lane, leaving Vanderwood, the only car running that has not stopped yet.
He's stopping now, though.
Oh, and he is coming in this time. And there he is as well. Alexander Vanderwood in the pit lane. Everybody has completed their stop. A couple of drive-throughs going around. A couple of predictions. A lot of people saying there's going to be 4. I would have probably came in and said that was a conservative guess at 4. And I would have probably said
11
a bit more
cars.
than that. There will be a car, mark my words, that gets another drive-through before the end of this. A double drive-through for at least one of the cars.
Another one. So
Well,
that
we've already
means
had a double drive-through for one of the cars.
that means Daly or Verstappen get another drive-through.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
we've already had a double drive-through for one of the cars.
Have we?
We have, yes.
Yes, the 199. Malcolm's had 2.
Yeah, I've nailed it then. I'm smart. See, I didn't even know that happened. I told you it was going to happen. Stick with me, kid. You'll go places.
Okay.
You're so ahead of everyone else that you're behind.
No, I'm so... Christian, here's the thing about me. This is why I'm brilliant. I'm so behind you, I'm in front of you.
It makes sense. It
That's
just
a
makes
metaphor
sense.
for life
I'm not,
and
I'm
my
not
driving
behind you. I'm
ability.
just
That's-
laughing you.
that explains
I'm just
everything.
slapping you.
That
Quite frankly, Philip, that is an infantile way to look at it, but
Is it?
probably.
You know
that
what?
explains everything about last week's stream outro.
You know what I was thinking? We got 4 people in the box, right? Last week we said we should all try and do a little bit of a tussle together on track.
Yeah.
How about we do that after this race?
I'll be
I hate to be boring, but I have a meeting.
Oh, that is extremely
I
boring.
genuinely have a meeting.
the busy life of Jesse Lane.
Joe Dalber has backed me up in chat, by the way. He's finished my thought. Brilliant and modest. That is exactly what I am. I am all of those things, perfectly
Brilliant.
suited to the task. I've
Modest.
never got a math equation wrong.
Math equation.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. The math may be
What's
wrong,
your
but the
favorite
equation's
equation,
always
Jesse
right.
Lane?
My quadratic.
No, oh, never mind. Whatever. No, that's not a question. That's a type, not type of equation, not an actual.
You
equation.
asked me a question. I gave you an answer. It's not my fault.
That's
you
like
did not
saying what's
like
your
the
favorite
answer.
dessert? Desserts. They're my favorite. Puddings. They're my favorite dessert. You just give me a type. That's it.
Algebraic?
Algebraic is another type of equation, Jesse. Come on, let's.
I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what you're asking.
Okay, we'll just leave it there, then, Jesse. That's fine.
I gave you types of equations. You didn't like it. It's types of math. I gave you different types of math. What do you want?
So
I'm lost.
I
now.
actually wanted to push your maths knowledge a little bit there, but my friend who's over just came into the room. Astrophysicist, by the way, asked for a mathematical equation just to test you just a little bit. Wouldn't give me one. Wouldn't give me one.
Probably plenty of them, to be honest.
I-
Astrology stuff.
I am not doing a brain like bending equation with somebody who is an astrophysicist so far beyond my comprehension of math. I count on my fingers, for God's sake.
How does that? Hang on.
How does that work? I've got 10 of them, and I close them when
You
I'm
got 10
done.
fingers?
Oh my god!
How many thumbs do you have?
Do you
I
use
to
your
count.
Do you use
This
your,
is very quickly going to turn into a medical conversation.
I was going to say, Jesse, do you
And that's
also?
in Jesse Lee's expertise.
I was going to say, Jesse, do you also use your toes? That's
Of
another
course I do.
conversation entirely. Let's move this one on. Let's not
course I
have this
do.
one.
Don't
Let's
be
not have this one live on
silly.
RCI.
You know, I still sing my ABCs every single time I find out what letters were.
Same. Actual. I just admitted that live on air, didn't I? I'm going away now.
You
Bye,
sing the
guys. See you.
alphabet live on
Christian, in your native language, not English,
Yes.
do you still sing the song in the cadence of the English version?
You have to sing those like you have to sing those like A with umlauts and O with crossbones.
Hey,
That
with
is not
umlaut.
what I meant, but
What do you call it? It's like the
O.
O with like the cross going through it. Ooh.
Oh, e, o.
Ew.
Those are the three umlaut letters you're on
I
about.
thought that was just the noise you make when you have a crash.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
I think a few drivers have made that noise so far this race, I'd say. Look at some of the crashes we've seen, but you can see Raphael Kiel here. He's only just got past Van der Wood. He's got Jordan Daly not too far ahead of him, only 2.5 seconds. He'll probably catch him up by the end of the lap. I said there, Jordan Daly, then just gamers of BMW. Verstappen, though, I think Verstappen sort of like got himself like a little challenge now because he's gapped Jordan Daly a bit. He's still got 15 seconds to John Araser for P1. Current pace difference at the minute. John
It's a
Araser's
lot.
last lap was a 25 or 45, 25 bloody at least I was going faster than that. But 45.2 for John Araser. Last lap for Verstappen as he comes across the line now. I'm going to say it's a 43 something. So yeah, we may 43.8. So this may be maybe a bit close now between the two. Well, maybe a bit close. 'cause
It
it's
might
like
be a last
15
lap thing.
seconds. Maybe last lap. Yeah, we unless Jesse Lee gets his calculator out and tells us how many laps to go.
I got my fingers.
Guys,
I mean,
is that the infamous Jesse Lee calculator? It's just the fingers.
I just want to expand on something. Kevin Boss, we should get Jesse an upgrade on in getting him an abacus. I'll let you know. We recently spent £2.50 of RCI money on a calculator for Jesse Lee,
It's catering
and
money.
yet Jesse still chooses to use his fingers.
It's
No,
not that I choose to use
Oh,
my
Jan Young!
fingers.
I've spotted you. You have had an oopsie. Let's have a look.
Oh, Yan Yo, a big oopsie here indeed.
Oh.
Oh, my goodness, Kim Block style
Very
doofadoo.
sideways.
Oh,
Oh, and he nearly saved it. That would have been cool.
Well, at
almost
least he
Jan.
found
He
where
disappointed everyone with that.
At least he
one.
found where the short track is around there and was able to get it going quite quickly. But yeah, that car's looked like a handful since the drop of the green flag, if I'm honest, fellas. It has not looked into the racetrack. It's looked like it's set up incredibly exactly
you know what?
like that.
I think he's having a bit of fun.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
also
he's-
could be
might as
doing
well-
that.
might
As
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
this
Oh,
he's
is.
definitely
Oh
doing
yeah.
this.
Oh, he's just showing off now.
This is it. I didn't realize we were doing drifting championships here now, so
Do you
Oh.
want to know something funny?
Go on.
I used to judge drifting competitions in sim-related games.
that's actually really cool. I used to, do you know, my first experience in sim racing, like
Who's
competitively, was
behind Jan?
That's
Is it
a
Andy
Boardman. Yeah, it's Boardman.
What's going on?
my first ever competitive sim racing experience was actually with Toge style racing on a set of courses. So, and that just
European
kind of led
everything.
to. yeah, that was it exactly. We actually did have a thing, and I don't know if the scene's still alive, but there was a thing called Battle Stage that we used to do like once a month. And
Try to get the Need for Speed drift camera.
It sounds exactly like. It sounds like you just
was
play
fun.
Initial D characters.
It pretty much was, to be fair. And there was a big stream, and they had events on, and it was fun. And that was,
I'm sorry, is Austin giving us a cosplay story?
Apparently so, and I don't know how to feel about it, but it was through those guys I actually found out about RCI, so there's a bit of relevance to the story.
Austin,
there.
what character in Initial D?
Oh!
Oh my goodness, what an
Oh,
excellent
goodness.
slide there. Absolutely pulled off of the outside clipping point, but nailed the inside. We're going to go to the judges for that one. It's going to be a 7.2. He missed the outside clipping point. That could have been as high as a 9.
We need to do a one-off drifting event or a good with the Festival of Speed kind of thing at RCI.
That'd be fun. That would be fun. But
yeah. Well,
I'm
certainly
gonna-
there's going to be no setups for those though. It's just,
Oh,
It's a
Jan!
big slide. He's about to lose it.
Trying to
Oh,
be
he
greedy
saved it.
going through the double apex there. trying
Oh!
to nail them
We call
both.
that a bail where we're oh, he's going to the sand.
oh,
He's going
no.
into the dirt and he's recovered the car and he goes right back to it. My
Question.
goodness.
I'm pretty sure these tires aren't designed for this. So
They
I'm
are
not really
probably
sure what
cooked.
we're gonna see.
I was
Jan
gonna
goes
say,
limping back to the pit with reversed tires. soon.
I was gonna say, Phil, Kevin Boss, I wonder how hot Yeo's tires are right now. Well, they're so hot, I'm pretty certain I've seen them on particular websites somewhere on the internet. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow. Okay.
Have you seen them on fanatec.com?
Yes.
It might be, or maybe, Christian, maybe it's our partners, AK Informatica, who provide all of our
might be.
server solutions.
Are you really doing
You know
this
what,
right
maybe-
now?
maybe-
Is
maybe
this
I think-
happening?
You know what I
Maybe
think?
it's
I
our
think-
other lovely
No,
partner.
no. Yeah, I was going to say maybe Jan Yo's got his drifting skills from our partners at Driver 61.
Maybe
Oh.
Driver 61 has given out some drifting skills. I mean, that's some amazing car control, some insane car control. But yeah, you guys can go and learn that over at Driver 61. Link in the description. And maybe it's because you may be using Fanatec equipment. So again, affiliate link in the description there
Are you
too.
kidding
So,
me?
Again,
Can I just point out, I
segue
think-
to our partners, completely smooth.
I think
smoother than
Yo's
Yeo's
going
drifting.
so. I think Yo's going so slow. The GT4s are catching up.
Alright, let's have a look at his lap times. He is doing a 148.9. So you are right, he is going slower than
Here's the thing.
GT4s.
Here's the thing. Yan might be going slower than everybody else on the racetrack, but he's getting the most attention in the pit lane post-race.
Well,
That
you
is
know,
true. Phil,
Tom,
I think the pace has been picked up or something now between if we go back to Verstappen. We did say maybe about 5-6 minutes ago whether he's going to have enough to catch up with Eraser. Lap time is still at least a second a lap, but that gap is
It's
not
not
really
enough.
coming down that much. No, it's still at least 10 seconds between the two cars.
But by the way, lads, the chat loved how seamless the plug was to the partners. They barely noticed it was happening.
Well, I think, to be honest, to be honest, they wouldn't have noticed as much if we didn't have somebody shouting, "Are we really doing this?"
I was so offended that we just went straight into that.
Hey, listen, I'm an opportunist. I see the opportunity and I'll take it.
I think that was brilliant.
I gotta respect it. In all seriousness, of course, you could brush up on your driving skills by going to driver61.com using our discount code in the description. You could go to fanatec.com and use our affiliate link when making purchases of quality sim racing hardware. And you could be Yan Yo and have absolutely red hot tires in the final 5 minutes of this race. And of course, you could be AK Informatica, who have provided our servers that have allowed Yan to have the hottest tires in all of Italy.
Oh, that's it. Like that is. I mean, thank you for echoing what I was saying there, Jesse. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate Yeo having so much fun with this.
This is
Oh wait, let's go for
this
a
right
proper onboard cockpit.
this.
Let's see some of the steering wheel action. Oh, is this one of those new GoPro helmet cams?
It's not the helmet
Christian,
cam.
how did you get this camera into this car? You must have snuck it in.
You know, I've got cameras everywhere on the track.
Well, that's
Isn't it
why.
the bathrooms?
No.
He said everywhere on the track.
No, I don't want to see the trousers of the drivers after the race. That is not something I want to see. It's only on the tarmac.
Oh, look at this! The sand!
Oh! Yanyo, I would like to know. Let us know in the chat afterwards, on RCI. Where do you get your drifting skills from? Have you been doing this for a while?
Driver 61, clearly, Christian. We've covered this.
No, apart from Driver 61, there must be some extra talent in there.
Some sort of, did your dad make you drive at the night time to deliver tofu to the restaurants or the hotels up on the mountainsides or wherever you live?
Christian, can we look at the dashboard? Is there a cup of water in there?
Yeah.
Reference over everyone's head. It's fine.
I was going to ask.
I'll
The
just
kids
leave
watching
now.
this
I'll
should
just
be-
leave now. It's okay.
I got the reference. It's fine. I got the reference. Although it's not. It's one of those like anime physics where like it's not possible.
Oh, now I get it. Okay, yeah, thanks. I guess I'm a little bit slow sometimes.
Do you worry that you're old sometimes?
All the time. Do not say that. It is literally.
I worry how long we'll be able to make initial references,
Almost.
and people will understand them.
I like to think about this subject and then immediately forget about it and move on because it makes me too sad in life.
What initial D?
No, the fact that it is quite an old anime now, right?
It is very old.
It is getting on a bit now. So there will come a time where you're with fellow racing fans of a different age, of a different generation. You go to make an Initial D reference and they don't get it. So
Initial D is helped by the deja vu sort of, meme lore.
I guess it has that vibe, and there's certain influences that kind of keep that vibe alive a little bit and do talk about the show a lot. And I think by association, it will always be.
Raphael!
Sure, are you joining? Are you joining in on Yanyo's drift to finish Misano?
Yanyo's Drift School here at RCI.
Sponsored by Driver 61.
Get 25% off your driver coaching by going to driver61.com using our discount code.
Terms and conditions may apply.
The terms and conditions are
when
you'll
are the
have
side
bloody
effects
fun.
going to kick in? Usually use that voice, sort of adverts when there's like you're listing all the side.
The only side effect is you win more trophies with that. I think is the only.
The only side effect is you become a better driver. I don't really think that's a bad side effect to have.
That is a pretty big side effect, though. And I just want to say here, and Malk, do not think you're getting away with this. Do not think you're getting away with
no!
this.
I've just seen it.
I retired as I didn't hear one.
Oh no! Not the cam of shame!
Oh, no. I retired as I didn't want to hear you guys say Malcolm now has 3 drive-throughs. It happened, guys. It happened.
I don't think it happened. I think he got his 3rd warning and then decided to, you know what? I'm going to retire.
Malcolm with the cam of shame.
Oh, Jan!
Oh, yeah, Jan's losing it again. Malcolm, in your defense, you didn't get the 3rd one, so we won't say that. Christian did, however, give you the cam of shame because you're in the pit lane. I do apologize for that.
I like a good rhyme, Jesse. Thank you for that.
Christian,
the cam of shame.
like this.
In the pit lane.
Yeah, the cam of shame is when Christian goes into the helmet of the driver to look the man in the face.
Just want to note down while we're still racing.
Let's have a...
Andy Boardman has just started the final lap of the race, coming into turn 3.
Very sad.
Andy Boardman show. We forget that he is winning the championship right now.
This is it. Well, at the end of the day, I think since Bodman entered the server today, and McDonald did hand the championship over to Bodman anyway. But this just officializes it. The last 20 seconds of the race, and I believe this will make this the final lap.
Although I'm 90% certain that Mr. McDonald has a good reason.
As we
remember from last week.
Yeah.
Yes, I am not disputing that at all, and I'm wishing every bit of luck and every well wish to the McDonald family. I mean, winning a championship is one thing, but obviously.
See, what he should do is he should start the baby young, Get them onto Drivers 61, and then in 10 years' time, we'll have them winning championships.
Maybe.
And for their first birthday, get like my first wheels.
Yeah, well, maybe,
Fanatec,
Phil,
exactly.
you can get that over at fanatec.com. So
What is happening in this broadcast?
I don't know, but Andy Boardman's about to win it.
I mean, but there we go. Coming across the line now, this is Andy Boardman in the 69 Grease Weasel Racing Porsche 911 Cup GT3 Cup
Congratulations.
car. Flashing the lights, and
Well
there
done.
we go. That's honestly a championship hard fought. I'd like to say it was just handed, but seriously, this has been an amazing season, and Bobbin's had to work for that. McDonald always in the background. You know, Dauber as well giving Bobbin a hard time at the start. Bobbin having to fight tooth and nail for it in the end ultimately. But yeah, I mean, insane championship so far, and very well done.
I thought that was smoke coming from Yankeo's car. It just
Probably his
turned out-
tires.
It just turned out to be gravel. His tires. Well, I'd say they're far. I've nearly.
Oh, it's a big send!
Oh, Jan.
I was a bit scared he was going to get like a drive-through of all of these
I want to see a
these track
tire
limit
blowout.
penalties.
I want to see a tire blowout.
Oh, baby!
Oh, what's he going to do last corner? Oh, he's taking out the board! Oh, it's going through it!
Smashing the curb, smashing the board, and he's coming across the line, folks. Yeah, and that is his day
Let's just-
done. And in style,
Rudy Philmalter.
will win
Yeah.
the GT4 AM class. Of course, finishing in front of the silver class today. Rudy Philmalter wins the race, wins the championship for dropping the hammer racing. The South African happy about that today. He will join Boardman, who has done the very same. John Eraser comes across the line to win it in the silver class for GT4, but Christoph Verstappen, it was a no-doubter today, put on a show anyway, but has won the championship for himself in GT4 silver.
Oh, we're having donuts.
Well, he's in an
Oh, boy's
American
hungry.
car. It's only natural.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not an eagle coming down and swooping the car up. I'll be completely honest here, Jesse.
Eagle swooping down and picking up the car. I don't think you can find an eagle strong enough to pick up that.
You
amount of
doubt
freedom in
the
car.
strength of America, my friend.
No, you doubt the amount of freedom you can pack into that car. To be honest.
There's so many freedoms per square inch in that Chevrolet right now, but fantastic affair, I will say, for 12 cars, 11 of which taking part, of course. It was an interesting race, and we hope all of you at home have not minded our broadcast style for today. We will revert back to the normal type for next season. Speaking of, November 17th, the GT4/touring car race series. It's a mini series 5. It's not actually a mini, it's 5 races. That's starting on November 17th. You can drive a GT4, or if you have the DLC, you can enter in a BMW M2 touring car, a TCX car. Absolute laugh right last time we had them. You got to watch the tires on those touring cars. But all things considered, very fun indeed. Don't forget, November 26th, the 12-hour Bathurst, the final big race of the RCI calendar for 2022. Get a teammate, get your friends, sign up. You're going to want to be a part of that race there. But the victories, everybody's a winner here tonight, it looks like, and a couple of very nice donuts and celebrations here.
Yeah, I mean, closing thought. I suppose we are at the point. You know, it's been an amazing series. I mean, maybe not so much the closest of racing here tonight, although we did see that little bit of a scrap between Verstappen and Daly. I mean, it's been an amazing season, guys. And I know for the last few races, Jesse, you've been here with us. Thank you so much for joining. Christian, thank you so much for speaking up this race too. It's been a lot of fun, and I don't think it would have been. Well, I know for a fact it wouldn't have been the same without you. But what are your guys' closing thoughts of the season so far?
Yeah, Phil, go on.
Start. Yeah, go on. Yeah, it's been interesting. We've seen some great driving, some great drifting.
Oh yeah.
And a great championship, to be honest. And it's one of those ones where it's a shame it's over, really, to be honest. It's been enjoyable, very enjoyable for some of these drivers. But yeah, looking forward to the next championship. When is it now? It's in 2 weeks' time. Yeah, 2 weeks' time.
Not long at all, as Jesse has just called out. I mean, speaking of Jesse, what's your thoughts?
Well, every championship, you're just hoping that it's an interesting series and that there's some nice battles. And while we didn't have them for the championship, we definitely had them week to week in all the different races. There was always the element of surprise as well. You never exactly knew who was going to be the dominant car in any particular week. The championship was well constructed. The drivers, they made their own fun when they had to, but they also pulled off some incredible moves this entire season. My big takeaway is that made memories, especially the Nürburgring in particular, that will live with me long in the memory for some time.
Honestly, one of the best races I think we've had in RCI in a long time. Christian, closing thoughts.
Yeah, I just need to make sure that quickly on this track video that people actually can hear me, because they won't be able to hear me in the standings. So if someone can confirm once it swaps over on the stream, that would be brilliant. But I'll still give my thoughts and just hope that it's working, because it seems like it's working on my side.
They can hear you.
They can hear me. All right, perfect. Yeah, well, it's been a pleasure to broadcast as always. I think it's the 6th season now I've done on Thursdays, and Thursdays I always have a lot of good fun, especially back in the days with Tim and Jesse, and then they became Tim and Austin, and yeah, we've had an amazing time. And this season is no different, to be honest. We've had some brilliant racing all around, especially the standouts, like Jesse said, Nürburgring. And there's also another race, I can't remember what it was, where Verstappen, and it was one of the early races, I think round 3 or 4. Verstappen, he had a brilliant battle with someone else. I can't exactly remember, I only remember because it's just, Verstappen is such a memorable name for slightly obvious reasons. And I think the talent in this series is amazing. The fun people have in this series is brilliant. People don't take it way too serious. Sometimes racing can be too serious, and I think Thursdays is it's serious enough, but it's got just the right amount of sarcasm and fun to it that it's just such an enjoyable series to watch. And yeah, I've really enjoyed broadcasting, and it's been fun on the mics today as well. I'd gladly do it again, but yeah, I like being behind the broadcasting without having my mic turned on. I feel like I'm unfiltered.
The voice of God, a little bit.
You definitely cursed less today.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
It's weird that.
It is a bit strange, and I think with that, I mean, championship winners, Andy Boardman winning the overall championship, Rudy Phil Malta winning the AM Class GT4 and winning the Silver Class GT4 last week with Verstappen. And I mean, closing thoughts, I mean, echo that of everyone here. Just it's been an amazing series, and I can't wait for the next one. Thursday Championship's always a lot of fun to enter. You guys, if you find the Discord, I believe that's in the link in the description below. But I think without taking up too much of your time, I think that might be all we have for tonight. So I want to bid you guys a huge thank you, and we'll see you next time.